You are watching your friends sign mortgage papers and quietly wondering if you are falling behind, or you are 1 month away from putting down a deposit on a house and suddenly not sure if you actually want it, or if you just think you are supposed to want it. Either way, you're standing at a fork in the road that most people only get one shot at, and the choice you make here, or don't make, will shape the next 30 years of your life in ways that nobody is being fully honest with you about, because the people who bought are telling you to buy, and the people who didn't are telling you renting is freedom. And somewhere in the middle of all that noise, you are just trying to figure out what is actually true for your life. So let's settle this properly. No agenda, no oversimplification. Just both paths laid out completely honestly so you can decide with open eyes. Let's start with the renter. You are 28 years old, you make a decent income, you are paying $1,400 a month in rent for an apartment you actually like in a city that has real opportunities. And right now, you have no mortgage, no property tax, no repair bills, and complete freedom to move if a better job appears somewhere else. On paper, that sounds like a win. But here's the question almost nobody asks. Where is all that money actually going? Over 10 years, you'll pay $168,000 in rent. Over 20 years, that number crosses $336,000. And at the end of it, you own nothing, not a single square foot. The landlord's net worth grew, yours stood still. That's not a moral judgment, it's just the arithmetic of renting, and it matters more than most people realize until it's too late to course correct. But before you decide that buying is obviously the answer, you need to understand what buying actually costs, because the sticker price of a home is not the real price. Say you buy a $300,000 home with a 10% down payment. That's $30,000 out of pocket on day one. Your mortgage at current rates sits around 7%, which puts your monthly payment at roughly $1,795, already higher than your rent. But then you add property taxes, which average 1 to 1.5% of the home's value annually. You add homeowners insurance, you add maintenance costs, which financial planners estimate at 1 to 2% of the home's value every single year. Suddenly, your $300,000 home is costing you closer to $2,400 a month in real terms. That is a significant gap from what most people budget for when they first start dreaming about owning. So, if buying is this expensive, why do millions of people still call it the best decision they ever made? The answer is the one thing renting can never give you: forced equity. Every mortgage payment you make splits into two parts. One part goes to interest, which is essentially the cost of borrowing money, and yes, it benefits the bank, but the other part reduces your principal. It is money that stays yours. It builds ownership. And as the years pass, that equity compounds in two directions simultaneously. You owe less, and the home is likely worth more. A $300,000 home appreciating at just 3% annually is worth over $403,000 in 10 years. By year 20, it crosses $541,000. You are not just living somewhere, you are holding an appreciating asset that is growing quietly in the background of your life. Now, here's the question that splits this decision completely down the middle. What if the renter invests the difference? This is where the honest conversation gets complicated. If you rent at $1,400 and the equivalent homeowner is paying $2,400 in true monthly costs, the renter has $1,000 extra every month. If that person invests that $1,000 consistently in a diversified index fund, earning 7% annually, after 20 years, they have approximately $521,000. That is real wealth. That is genuinely competitive with homeownership. The renter does not lose automatically, but only if they actually invest that difference, which most people do not do. Most people lifestyle inflate. Most people absorb that extra money without even noticing where it went. And that's the brutal, honest reality of the rent versus buy debate. Renting is not inherently a losing move, but renting without a parallel investment strategy is almost always a losing move. Homeownership forces the discipline. Renting requires it voluntarily. But there is one final dimension that numbers alone cannot capture, and it might actually be the most important one. Owning a home changes how you live. You paint the walls, you plant something in the yard, you stop thinking of where you live as temporary and start treating it as yours. Research consistently shows that homeowners report higher life satisfaction, stronger community ties, and greater long-term financial stability, not purely because of the asset, but because of the psychological shift that comes with permanence and ownership. There is something that happens to a person when they stop renting their life and start owning it. That shift is real, and it's worth factoring in. At the same time, a renter who builds wealth, invests wisely, maintains flexibility, and moves to opportunity when opportunity appears, that person can build an extraordinary life too. The path is different, the discipline required is different, but the destination can be just as powerful. So, which life do you actually want? Both paths are real, both have trade-offs that nobody fully warns you about up front, and the goal of this channel is to give you the complete picture, not the comfortable one, so you can make decisions you are genuinely confident in. If that's the kind of content you want more of, please subscribe and hit the like button. It takes 2 seconds and it genuinely helps this channel reach more people who need this kind of honest conversation about money. And I want to hear from you in the comments. Are you currently renting or do you own? And which path are you planning to commit to? 1 sentence is all it takes? Drop it below. Our next video could be about the hidden financial trap that catches most people right after they buy their first home, and almost no one sees it coming until the damage is already done. If you want us to cover that topic, drop home trap in the comments right now. If enough of you ask for it, we're making that video next. See you in the next one.